Europe is afraid. If I have to describe the position of the European leaders, I would say cowardness and fright. They cannot fight. They don't want to fight. And so they know that the Muslim Brotherhood, it is like Obama. The Muslim Brotherhood is is having more and more power. And maybe the future will be for them. So they prefer to be alive with them, to pay them, to give them money in order to be their friend. And this is the Dhimmi attitude, because they hope that by serving their enemy, they will be spared. By giving them service, the duty of the Dhimmi could live only if he paid tribute to the Muslim and if he served him. He was useful to him. And this is what Europe has done. It has been useful to the Muslim world by creating the Palestinian people in 1973, in paying for a Palestinian state that it hopes will replace Israel. And therefore, it served the Muslim policy, the Arab League, and it pays. Europe has paid enormous amount of money to the Arab state. So it hopes that it will survive, and also it sees that its own civilization is destroyed. They don't want it. They don't want to believe in Israel. They don't want to believe in Judaism. They hate what Israel represents. They want to get rid of this. And they want to be universal. This is the communist trend. They want to be universal, a big fraternity. Solana have said it, that will be governed by the UN with the caliphate.
Under these circumstances, how would you recommend the Israeli authorities to deal with it?
Israel until now is a miracle. Thanks to the Jewish people, to the Christians, friends of Israel, and I think Israel has a very little margin of maneuver. What it has to do is to be awakened, is to know all this, not to have illusion on Europe, not to count on Europe. You know, it is written in the Bible, don't trust Egypt. Well, don't trust Europe, because Europe is already finished. So maybe Europe will become, because there are movements in Europe against this policy and which are pro-Israeli, all these movements. But what they will do, for the moment, they are organizing themselves on the European level. You have them in Germany, in France, in Switzerland, in Denmark, in Sweden, but they are very much persecuted by their own government because they want exactly to change this policy and support Israel, because they know exactly what is going on. They know perfectly Jihad. They know perfectly Dhimmitude. They know perfectly the universal caliphate. So we hope that something will change in Europe. But for Israel, all what I can advise is to know this reality, to know the OIC, to know the force of the OIC, to know the force of this. You have a fantastic man here, Professor Steinberg, Gerald Steinberg, in Jerusalem. You have Jerusalem Policy Center. You can ask him to come and speak to you about all that. This is his specialty. So it is important for you to be aware of that. Now, excuse me, I want to tell you that wherever I found an Israeli who speaks at the television, it is a disaster. A disaster. He knows nothing. Maybe someone else will look for because it is difficult. There are many hands. Yes.
Right. We're going to help
Yes.
you to.
Yes.
Right, Ran.
First of all,